All right, what's up? I'm here with White Noise, and this is the first episode of the podcast. How are you doing, man? How are you
And
doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be your very first guest on,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to call it the Ty Donovan podcast.
Sounds good. Sounds
That's
good.
what I'm going to call it.
Ty Donovan podcast would be really cool. I'm gonna have
Right, right.
to cut you some royalties on that if that ends up being the name of that. All right, so first off, I'm going to talk about underestimated. I really think there was like a unique sound with that, very melodic, but there was also some like really turnt stuff. I think next up, really unique on that. I just wanted to talk to you about like what was the process for like writing underestimated?
Man, it's crazy for me because I like to really listen to and absorb a beat. And
Hmm.
for me, it's like, for whatever reason, I can quickly come up with song titles and then just build off of that. The track you co-produced with Casual,
Hmm.
that song Beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
At the time I was going through the process of creating the album, I was there were more expectations being put on me as far as the music was concerned. And so I had to take a step back for about a week or so, catch my breath,
Gotcha.
just be
Yeah.
like, okay, absorb things a little bit.
You
And
got to be in a good mental state.
absolutely. And, in the midst of that week, one of my coworkers comes up to me and it's like, bro, I heard you got bars. I'm like, oh, damn, I
Uh,
appreciate that, dude.
getting put on the spot.
Yeah, but it was cool because we had the conversation and I was like, yeah, my music's out everywhere, go check it out.
Hmm.
And that conversation inspired the title of the song Beautiful because that was a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, yeah.
Having coworkers like find your music and everything. My boss, I had to show him my music. I don't think I've had anybody like come up to me about it or anything yet, but that's really cool that that happened, dude. That's honestly that's beautiful as titled, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but as far as my processes, I like to, like I said, listen to the beat, kind of come up with an idea, and it's usually fueled by some type of emotion I might be going through at the time. Um, Kind of the outlier on that is Next Up, just because it had
Hmm.
that club banger vibe.
Yeah. Was
So
that
I just came up with the hook, just really catchy. It was really simple. Um, but a joint like Talk About It, track 9,
hmm.
Mad Dog Made It beats. That was a very personal and real and raw song for me. It was the most raw and real I've gotten on any song.
I
So
got
that
you.
had a different process, but it's crazy. I remember I bought that beat on a Wednesday. I had the song written in 2 days, which is the fastest I've ever turned around and written a song because it was so personal and real. I was like, oh man, this is the one right here. It basically wrote itself.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting. I've heard like a lot of artists say like when they get like really real, it's like hard to record, but like that's kind of really awesome the way that it just like came out for you. Like
yeah,
it's like raw. That's really fucking awesome.
yeah,
I'm the same way with making beats and everything. Like I have to put my emotion into it. If I'm feeling a certain way, I can't really like fake it with the beats and everything. It's definitely
right.
like a raw thing making music.
Yeah, you got to stay true to yourself and dance with what brought you there. And for
Mm.
me, I'm so fueled by my own emotions and the fact that I'm not only trying to prove to myself that I can do this, I've got to prove it to other people that I can do this.
Yep.
That's why I chose the title Underestimated for the album. You know,
That's a
and by the way, that album's on all streaming platforms, folks.
absolutely. You
So
guys got to check it out. Really cool, actually. Like some really like deep bars, like very genuine, like a very genuine take on rap. I haven't heard anything really like it in a while, to be honest with you. Really like what you're
damn,
doing, man.
that's crazy, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
It's been cool for me to be able to collaborate with so many dope producers from around the world. Like your beat
Yeah.
was a collab with Beats by Casual,
Visual in the
who's from the
UK.
United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, how awesome is that? That had to be really cool for you.
It's a
Like,
universal language. Yeah, that was a
yeah,
really cool opportunity. That was actually only my second collab with Casual, and holy fuck, I was so happy when
yeah,
everything worked out the way that it worked out. Like
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, how did you get into rap music?
So basically, my first really exposure to it was I'm like 12 or 13 years old. I'm in my buddy's driveway. We're playing basketball, and he puts on Bone Thugs and Harmony, the
Oh,
song
damn.
the song The Crossroads. He puts
That's
that
really
on,
good.
and I hear boom 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 boom. Immediately I'm like, what the hell is this
Yeah.
majestic sound? What is this? And he says, oh, it's Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm like, man, this is incredible. And then later that day, he played a Tupac song, and
All the West Coast
uh, uh,
stuff, good stuff, dude.
immediately I was in love. Like
That's a
it was
really
a
awesome
feeling.
fucking.
It was a feeling I had never felt before, and you know, it was something I experimented a lot with in high school. Then there was a gap between like college until kind of like my mid to late 30s
Hmm.
where I just stopped being creative. I gave up on myself, on my dreams, on whatever. And then the pandemic hits and it gives you that opportunity to really
Yep.
look yourself in the mirror and be like, what am I doing? Why am I not pursuing this? And here I am. So,
That's cool as fuck, dude. That's cool as fuck. I've heard a lot of people getting into like their talents and their passions during the pandemic, but like the way you got like brought onto it at like listen, I can only wish that I got put on to like Tupac and Bone Thugs earlier because like that
right.
West Coast stuff is really fucking cool. I actually only started listening to rap when I was like 15, but
Okay.
that's that's a really cool way that you got into it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, you are super consistent on social media, and I know that a lot of rappers have trouble with this, just like posting every day, making posts, coming up with that, recording, finding an editor, all that shit. How do you get like that consistent with everything?
Well, for me, especially with the underestimated series, I had such good footage that was filmed for me by Candice Elise and Wilhelm Duke. They
Hmm.
go by Video Sushi.
Oh, I've been
Wilhelm
seeing
Duke
them.
is Yeah, Wilhelm Duke is one of the best MCs in the city of Chicago.
Damn,
He's also nice with a camera, and his girlfriend Candice Elise is one of the best graphic designers. She's done cover art for me in the past.
that's really
She's
cool.
an incredibly talented artist. Um, but as far as that went, it was easy for me to just chop it up into reels. And you
Hmm.
know, a lot of
That's
times I'll just kind of want to be I want to, you know, share a song of mine and just kind of record it from literally right where I'm sitting
hmm.
and just create some content through that. And, you know, I'll just think of ideas and be like, you know, just share this out, put it out there and let people know that you're doing this, you know, share your stuff. Um, you know, for me, it's something that I genuinely enjoy. So that's what kind of leads to the consistency is that I enjoy it so much. And I also know that in this Chicago music scene, you have to stay consistent so
Hmm.
people see you all the time and they
Competition.
don't forget about your face, you know,
Yeah.
because like I said, there is so much talent in this city, you know, and it's a case where iron sharpens iron, you know.
Hmm.
I see so many people doing their thing and that inspires me to just keep going and you know be consistent and come up with new songs and come up with new ways to say things and just be more creative.
It sounds like you've got an awesome process, but that's like a really good way of putting it. Iron sharpens iron, dude. But I feel like a lot of people are getting in their own ways, and it sounds like you've gotten way through that, way past that. You're just very raw on social media, and I really like it, dude. You stay super consistent. You're doing a fucking awesome job with that. I just wanted to tell you that, bro.
Man, I appreciate that. That's so cool, you know, that
Yes, sir.
you've been consistently looking at my content
It
and you
pops
know,
up, bro. You're popping up everywhere, just like you said. That's the way you gotta be. Like, it's really awesome to see, bro. It's really awesome to see you putting in the effort because I gotta get consistent on social media, to be honest with you. That's why I started this podcast. I want to just like literally what you said, like chopping it into reels. Like I need that kind of content. And I figured, well, rappers and producers would also like that kind of content. So why don't I get them involved, make it into a thing where like we just collaborate on posts and turn it into that kind of thing, grow it like that, like a huge network. But dude, you've got it down. Like you've been showing up all over my feed, bro.
man, that's awesome. You know, and the key is, you know, just being disciplined and make sure you're doing what it is you want to do. You know,
Hmm.
don't worry about what the next dude does or the dude who's in front of you. Don't worry about that. Just worry about being you and being true to what gets you to where you want to be and you'll get somewhere. Trust me. I mean, all I'm doing is being me. That's it.
That's the best
I'm
way to
not
do it,
trying
though.
to be I'm not trying to be anybody else. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that, you know? So,
Dude, being genuine like that is like the best way to be. And I really respect that, bro. Because a lot of people put on this like persona, like doing the beats. Like I see a lot of producers like getting salty on the stories, like trying to act tough and shit. Like just being genuine, that's the best way to be. And I respect it, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
I wanted to talk to you about like how you found your sound because I've been listening to the beats again. I like the Beats by Casual one, super melodic stuff. I think
Yeah.
it's really interesting. Like it's kind of compared to a lot of the albums I've been listening to recently, it's like a really coherent body of work. How did you like find that sound?
Well, Beats by Casual, no pun intended, was very instrumental in that. Um, he was like one of the very first producers who I started following on social media, and started going to his BeatStars page and was listening to his beats. I was like, oh my god, this dude is an amazing producer. And as I was listening to more and more of his beats, I was like, man, I could hear myself on this.
Mm,
So it started off with leasing beats from him, and then there were some opportunities where his pricing on exclusives happened to fall within my
yep.
budget, and I was able to catch some breaks. And so basically all the beats that I started off leasing from him, I now have exclusively. So I just
That's really fucking
upgraded
cool.
slightly, you know.
That's not a slight upgrade. That's a really good upgrade, dude. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah. And the thing is, he and I have formed a very good relationship over it's been like 2 or 3 years that we've just been exchanging messages on IG,
Hmm.
and he's such a cool, real dude. And
He is.
it,
He
it
doesn't fake on the stories or anything, bro. He
oh,
keeps
no
it
way.
real.
And his sound is just so he's so versatile, you know.
Hmm.
Like the next up beat was one of his beats, along with what was one of his
Hmm.
other beats? The
You made that?
timeless joint. Yeah, next up was his beat.
What the fuck?
I know,
That's
right?
some crazy West Coast stuff from a UK man. He's really good with the beats. Like
Yeah.
I was really happy when I got my first collab with him was actually for free. He was doing like this thing where people you would just like play his beats a whole bunch. Like it would be whoever gets the most plays on his beats,
Yeah.
you'll get the free collab. And so I remember one time I was like, oh, there's no way I can do this, right? I told myself that for 20 days. And then on day 21, I was like, fuck all these people. They're only at like 1,000. I'm just gonna like literally let my computer run that shit.
Yeah. Just
And
hit play. Yeah.
I would go to work and I would let that shit run. And I by the time it was like the 28th or something, I was in second place and I got my collab.
That's amazing, dude. That is so cool how that came together. And that's what's cool about Casual is that he's willing to give people opportunities,
Yep.
you know. And I have such a great deal of respect for him as a producer, and he's dope. But like we talked about the versatility with him, he did Next Up and that Timeless beat, track
Really different
4 on my
stuff.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So totally different dichotomy of beats. And yeah, he's dope, man. Like,
That's the fucking way to do it though. Link up with like a
yeah,
dope producer, build like
yeah.
you're doing it right, man. I'm really excited to see where you go with this stuff.
Appreciate you.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about before we wrap this up?
A couple shout outs real quick.
Got you.
My guy Jamari Michael. Um,
I've been
as
seeing
you
you with the
know,
lives.
yeah, as you know, he mixed and mastered my entire project,
Hmm,
Underestimated. He produced track number 1 as well,
nice,
Lonely
good stuff.
Hearts. And I've recorded all of my music with him in his studio for the
Nice.
last 18 plus months. His studio is 5 minutes from my apartment.
That's really
So
cool, dude.
it it's been beautiful. We've been able to form an incredible relationship. I owe him so much. I've learned so much from him. He's a talented ass dude in his own right. You know, but without him, I would not be able to be where I am right now. So I
Hmm.
owe him a great deal. Um, Candace Elise, Wilhelm Duke for their work on the Underestimated series, which is on my YouTube channel.
You
That's
guys got to check
five
it
weeks.
out.
Yeah, that's 5 weeks of performances at the Hairpin Arts Center in the Logan Square neighborhood in Chicago. That was an amazing experience. All 5 of those performance videos are up on my YouTube channel. Link in my Instagram bio. Um, Ty, I want to give you a shout out for
Thank
allowing me
you.
to be on this podcast. I'm your very first guest, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We're
sir.
making history.
We
This
are
is
making
history in the
history.
making right here, man.
I'm really hoping these clips blow up, bro, because I'm gonna be pushing
Yeah,
these. I'm gonna be pushing these.
yeah, yeah. And so grateful for your contributions to my album. Um, that beautiful beat is one of my favorite beats on the entire project.
Really nice.
Um, that song is very meaningful and very symbolic. Um, because at the very end of the verse, I say, why does somebody with a gun have more rights than a woman does?
Hmm.
And not to get too political on here,
Yeah,
but
but like that's deep.
that yeah, that line means something to me. Originally, the plan with that song was to go political, but I went a different direction, more philosophical than anything. But it's still a lot of people really like that song and really relate to it, and the beat just tells a story.
The
So
beat does.
that collab with you and Casual, you guys knocked it out of the park. So
Thank you.
salute, man.
That was mostly him. He was I actually sent him over a melody and he tweaked the MIDI a bit and he threw those like vocals over. That was mostly him.
Yeah,
But that was he did a really fucking awesome job and I really liked working on it. I gave him that little chord progression. That was my
yeah.
contribution, but that's really cool, dude. I um I think it's really awesome that you're speaking on things like that though, like trying to stay away from like controversy, but like it's absolutely good to like speak on shit that means something to you and that means something to other people.
Yeah, and it's always worth having the conversation.
Exactly.
That that's what I say. There's never a problem with a conversation. You probably seen the reel on my page about that story about my coworker and how his
Mm.
brother got a job when he showed up to one of my events.
That's fucking
So,
you
you
gotta
know,
send me that actually. I haven't seen that. You gotta send me that after. That's really
okay.
fucking cool.
Yeah, and it's actually I tell the story in week 5 of the underestimated series as well. So, like I said, the link is in my Instagram bio at White Noise and the number one.
Everybody's
Um,
gotta check that out. Everybody's gotta check that out. You're doing dope
yeah,
stuff, dude.
yeah. And one more thing, shout out to everybody who has been rocking with me, man. Um, I am so grateful for all the people who have been listening to my music
Shout out to the
and
fans.
really absorbing my message and just riding with me and all the positive comments. Shout out to all the producers who I've worked with and all of the producers who are sending me messages expressing desire to work with me. Um, I'm beyond grateful for that. I may not be able to get to all of you right now because there's a lot going on. I'm trying to build something special here, and but I'm just so grateful for all of that. You know, Everybody's showing me love. I just want to show love to everybody back. So thank you all so much, man.
Thank the fans, dude. Thank the fans. It's been really
Yeah,
awesome watching that album grow. I was like
yeah,
really glad to be a part of that, to be honest with you, dude.
yeah. I'm so proud of that body of work. Like you said, it's a very cohesive body of work,
Yes, sir.
and I firmly believe there is something for everybody on this album. Name of the album is Underestimated. All streaming platforms. Look me up. Go run that up. You can
Run
listen
it
to
up.
it
Run it up.
anytime. Yeah, when you're working out, when you're cleaning the dishes at your house, when you're driving to and from work, it moves very quickly. Um, so many talented producers. Um, and man, it's something that I am so proud of, and I just want to share it with as many people as possible. So please give it a listen. Whether you like it or don't, I mean, I can't affect an opinion, but the only thing I request is that you listen to it and form your opinion based off of listening to it, not based off of what somebody else might think.
Yes, sir. That's the I fucking hate that stuff, dude. People are so afraid to like give their actual opinions. Like,
Right.
all right, well, dude, it's been fucking awesome interviewing you, dude. It's been awesome getting to meet you. This has been
Yeah.
so cool talking about this album. I had a lot of questions that I got answered, and honestly, I'm glad I got to do this with you, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Much love. Peace, everybody.